Welcome to the Two and a Half Brothers podcast, where we discuss FPL views and strategy, but most importantly, our monthly league, which rolls into the last week of October this weekend. Usual plan tonight, quick review of Game Week 8 scores, discuss plans and issues for Game Week 9, maybe take a quick look at the league for October, and potentially discuss the prize structure. Evening, chaps, are you okay?
Evening. Yeah, really good. How are you guys?
Evening. Yeah, good, thanks. Especially happy after United winning Sunday evening. Great
Finally.
way.
Back to
Yeah.
back for you.
Back to back.
Unbelievable.
First time at Anfield in about 10 years. So happy days.
Nice.
I could not
Nice.
have any less interest in the game tonight. I feel like it was a bit of an anticlimax this weekend's football, and I've got no interest tonight in terms of players. So recording this is a nice distraction from the game week as it stands.
Yeah, no action for me tonight other than the ability to watch Bowen, but I just don't own him. But yeah, it's always fun to watch.
Well, should we crack on then? Stick to the usual plan. I'll do my team first.
Yeah, but
Cool. Have you got the graphic, Gemmas?
Yeah, bring yours up.
So I'm on 66, which is above average again. However, my rank is largely unchanged. Just where the ownership of some players in and around that kind of 500k rank is a bit different to what I've got in my team. So players like Gabriel, for example, kind of damaged my rank a bit. It was pretty rough before Mbermo scored. He's only 10% owned. So I did claw back about 300,000 spots after that goal. Even then, I think the Bruno assist took the shine off that somewhat. So pretty steady for me. Obviously, the score is dominated by Haaland. Dubravka also dug me out a little bit. I benched Vicario purely out of frustration. That double Spurs has been miserable. I'll do the same again next week. We'll look at my team shortly, but they've got Wolves, so I'll probably just leave him in. My transfer in was Eza, who was pretty quiet and then removed at 60. I think we know he's going to be a less reliable option than he was at Palace. I think now there's a chance he'll lose his spot. It maybe gets one more game. Saka's unaffordable to me. I probably would have gone there. I think he played pretty well, despite not getting any returns. Fulham felt worth the punt. They've collapsed a few times this season, as we've touched on. They've looked targetable. I think Anderson's out now, isn't he, for what looks like a little while at least. So yeah, my other consideration was Sarr, who didn't do anything in that Bournemouth thriller. So I don't feel too hard done by, but I do feel like Eza's another kind of potential problem. I think having just removed Xavi, I feel a bit like I'm going out of the frying pan and into the fire. But like I say, I thought it was worth the risk, given the Fulham fixture. So another potential problem is that Rangers early sub. That's going to put me on alert for a move out now. I was always kind of riding that wave until he started playing fewer minutes. I think he's been worth owning at 5.5 million as a decent City midfielder. Now he's potentially going to start being rotated and rested. I'll look to move on there. One of the other many headaches in my team is that Isaac spot. He's chewing up a huge amount of budget. And didn't look particularly likely on the weekend. He had a pretty good chance, I think, as a through ball from Canate. I feel like he might have done a bit better with that last season. Need a bit more for 10, or a lot more for 10.5 million, and it's starting to feel like it's imbalancing my team. Liverpool generally look shocking. There are still plenty of Mo Salah defenders out there on the internet, and good luck to them. He didn't do too much again. One consideration, Bob, you'll enjoy, is Isaac to Gyökeres for the upcoming fixtures. I think they've got Burnley, Sunderland, but he's comparable to like Isaac and Pedro to me. Like, it just doesn't look likely, which is a real nightmare.
no.
So I think that's plenty of problems in my team. I've highlighted in my notes all of my players that are creating headaches. And it's pretty much half the team. Um,
Yeah, it feels like we're at a bit of a crunch point with a lot of these players in terms of whether they're a long-term bet. I brought Eze and I'll talk through my team shortly, but I'm slightly regretting that now. How long do you think you'll give him? I thought with Odegaard out, he's nailed on, but he feels like a gamble now that I've taken that's blocking Saka. And again, I need to look at budget to move, Saka in, but it doesn't feel like a wise choice.
yeah, I mean, I'll give it at least another week or two. I will want another Arsenal attacker for that Burnley Sunderland group of fixtures. I think they've got Palace on
Yeah.
the weekend, haven't they? Which is putting me off a Mateta potential move. I've already made my move, which I can cover when we look at my team. I've gone early, but
Yeah, yeah, it's not a great week to bring Mateta in. It's tricky with Isaac. I almost don't put him in the Gyökeres bracket because I think he's not had enough of a run like Gyökeres has had. But I'm just too scared to take him out now for the next 2 or 3 games. The fixtures are they're so good,
I mean, Isaac's proven
and I
quality as
just
well.
think
So
he can't keep missing it. It looks like the team are backing him and want him to score, but it's frustrating. But I had the same view with Mateta a couple of games ago, and there's a bit of me that's like, give him 3 more and then move him out. But he's blocking my route to Saka as well, so I've got a lot of thinking to do this week. But I'm not sure I'd go Isaac to Gyökeres because Isaac's still very capable, and Gyökeres has shown that he's not been recently. It's just a real dilemma.
yeah. I think Rooney was gobbing off today, wasn't he? That Ekitike should start ahead of Isaac in the coming
Yes.
games.
So I've got Isaac as well. And I thought they looked better when Ekitike came on. So I'm slightly worried, like if he's going to be benched going forwards. I don't think next week he will, but I don't know. If he doesn't pick it up, I could see it happening.
I just think Liverpool they look too unsettled. It's like Gakpo was really really good on the weekend,
Yeah.
but you can't go there because he may well then become a 60-minute man for the next 2 or 3 game weeks, and there's too much risk across that Liverpool team, and at 10 million that's quite a big chunk to be
Yeah.
taking that risk. But I think there's a lot of players in that bracket at the moment that follow a similar logic.
The trouble is, where do you go? Like, I'm thinking of free hitting this weekend, so I don't have to look at those twats anymore. At least for one
For
game
a
week.
week.
Yeah, at least for one game week.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
like
yeah,
where do you go?
yeah. So Bournemouth's one I've been looking at as some of my shuffling across this week for the next game week. But I'm still not sure I can go to United. What's your view on him for the medium term?
Yeah, I mean he's looked decent all season. So United performances have been a bit volatile, but he's going to do the business. I was surprised at how quiet Kuna's looked. Obviously, that doesn't really impact your Bumo question.
No, no, no.
I was surprised he didn't get another chance or two on the weekend against Liverpool for what might have been a mega haul. He ran them ragged. He's just so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's very clinical as well. So I think when he gets a chance, 9 times out of 10 he takes it. And yeah, that like goal's been a long time coming. And
The lovely finish. A big fan of the rage benching of Vicario though. Have a bit of that, mate. Get on the bench. Are you going to ship him on, or have
It's
you
a
got other?
goalkeeper. It's a goalkeeper transfer, isn't it? So
Yeah, it's
just
boring.
yeah. I think whilst
But you're stuck with
we
it.
said coming into pre-season, didn't we? We thought Burnley defence would be okay, having seen them in the Championship last year. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
I know a lot of
yeah,
the FPL community were kind of looking at targeting the promoted teams as they did last year, but I think we
yeah.
were we were of the opinion that generally they'd be much stronger. I think that's playing out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's following the course. Again, like, they're doing better than I thought they would be, but it's following that course. But you got a lot of questions there. But the thing is, like 3 weeks ago, team looked set. It feels very volatile. But yeah, you've got a ton of work to do.
Yeah, the question at the moment is like where do you go? Um, I've probably not done myself any favors just looking at it with players like Eze. Maybe Isaac was a bit too early, but Liverpool's fixtures were good enough, and Isaac's good enough to
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
warrant that risk.
yeah.
It hasn't worked, but my rank hasn't really moved, so I think I got some relative value out of kind of Haaland and all the rest of it over the last 4 weeks, say, whilst people have been catching up, and
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
whilst that overall rank doesn't really move, I'm not going to
Um,
start taking -8s and all the rest of it.
One more question. So Pedro is a route for me to go to Saka, and he's got the fixtures. But given that you said you don't want to look at him anymore, um, is he one to swerve? Do you think in that
Pedro,
downgrade to free up some budget?
Joao Pedro,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Chelsea's
Only
Joao
yeah,
Pedro.
and then
Yeah,
you're
he's gone,
free.
mate. He's yeah, I've already moved.
Already.
You raised transfer. Oh right.
Yeah,
Oh, we'll put
Ray's
that
transferred
in the
to
forward-looking
Baltimore.
section.
I think they were moving in opposite prices. Um, and my team value is
Yeah,
okay,
fair.
but to lose point 0.2 um, on that transfer didn't didn't feel worth it. I knew I didn't want Joao Pedro.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can
fair
say
enough.
he's got Sunderland, it's a great fixture. Sunderland are better than Forest, and Pedro did absolutely nothing. They played Forest on the weekend,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they did
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they
He,
did
he seems scared to
Yeah.
be aggressive, like he's been in previous teams, and get shots off and just be a menace. He seems more scared
yeah,
to
maybe
do
he's
that.
missing Palmer, or
Mm.
I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
Salah,
Like,
really, you watch the performances and you just think it's never going to happen. And
yeah,
I've
yeah,
held on to him for 5 weeks, having started the season with him, and obviously the points going away. He's still the second highest forward goal scorer, point scorer. So
Oh, is he? Okay.
he's obviously done the business. It just highlights the volatility, I guess, in the other players'
Yeah.
returns. So yeah, he's gone. Thank you for the contribution, but yeah, I'm quite
But
excited
no
for
longer.
Baltimore. Seems a bit like
yeah.
a Bob signing, to be honest. Like complete vibes FC. Him and Bowen up front.
Yeah.
Him and Bowen up front for you.
He
You're
looks
a
great.
dream.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's where the free hit goes. Just Voltamada, Bowen, a couple of Jack Grealishes, just litter the team at times. But I'm not sure I can go there yet with how I might want to play the next few game weeks. But he's class. His goal was outrageous, to be fair. Very, very good looking player. So yeah, is that where you've gone then with your Jao switch?
Yeah, I've already done it.
I
Like I
did.
said,
I did.
the price movements were one of the factors behind that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to. I think there's nearly 400,000 transfers in for Baltimore. Um, so maybe catch a bit of value over the week, but
Yeah.
that could easily have been a zero point 0.4, 0.5 million kind of net swing between Pedro and uh, Baltimore by the time we get to Friday. Um,
Yeah. No, he does look good.
so yeah, I went with it. I've got no real flexibility in the midfield either. Reinders and Anderson are at a tricky price point. They're the best players at that level in
Yeah.
my opinion, and I can't go up. I don't have enough money to go up to a Shah, for example, from Palace. So
You might get a bit more out of Anderson and the Dyche. I know that he wasn't that
Yeah.
strong defensively for Everton, but he was certainly better than they were getting out of Ange. So you might find he's more of a defensive
yeah,
minded
I'm
player.
tempted to play him against Bournemouth on the weekend. This isn't.
Yeah, I would. Oh, yeah, without doubt. Yeah,
Yeah, when we
yeah.
come to my team, I'll show you. But yeah, that's it for me. I think you
Wonder.
guys are yeah, kind of leading the charge. So I'll hand over.
Nice. Should we go to me next, Gemmers, given that we can save the best till last, or are we going to come to you?
Yeah. Have a look at yours.
Okay.
Ramsbad as well. He's on the
So,
AI slot.
so
Oh,
we've got a new badge on my team as well.
oh
It's the Ram on
yikes!
Derby and Felix, though.
Zoom out.
So I had to play Dubravka. I wasn't too worried,
It's not bad.
given that they're defensively pretty solid, playing against a promoted team. Did really well. And he's probably going to go in for the next game week as well. I think they've got Wolves, haven't they? So before I work out what to do with the Allison injury, we'll keep him where he is. Defense did limited amounts. So again, with what we used to, you've got the Timber clean sheet. Not much else off Senesi and Lacroix. Lacroix's really frustrating me at the moment. It's not something I can sort out at the moment, but he's not really getting close to DEFCON. And he's just not looking quite as strong as he thought he'd be, over the long term. But again, he's cheap and he's an enabler. But no points there. Um, as a as I said, I really fancied him with the Odegaard injury, and he has looked good. He's been getting really good positions. He's been looking tricky and looking like he really wants to threaten. I just worry that I might need to move him on quicker than I'd originally planned, given how good Saka's looking, but I'll ponder that. Reinders, again, discussed. Simmons, I was just looking at my team actually, Steve, and remind myself I've got a fair bit of work to do like you have, but I can't get Xavi out yet. And if you look at his fixtures, they're all right going forward. So there's a bit of me that's like, have I got other stuff to worry
He's
about?
he's had a load of good fixtures.
But he's still, but he's
Yeah.
got next. So he's still got.
Yeah, I know. I had him.
Although to be fair, if United had an upswing, them and Everton aren't uh,
Yeah.
aren't that nice to ponder in terms of easier games. But I just don't know what I want to do with him in terms of where I'd go. So the natural split is to bring Saka in, boot him out, and then downgrade elsewhere with Gyökeres. But I have the fear of Gyökeres then getting a hat trick, like Mateta did with a similar train of logic. So I need to
No
work out that
thanks.
little axis between Xavi, Gyökeres, bringing Saka in, not bringing Saka in, which probably means that Eza gets left alone for the time being. But yeah, he
You
didn't.
can't do that, can you?
If Gyökeres
I
gets
know.
downgraded,
Sorry. If you did
yeah,
Gyökeres to
yeah.
Saka, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So that was that. Semenyo again, got a very sneaky assist. I think in the end,
I
didn't he? But
think that
Oh, did
might
he?
be
I was
getting
a bit chalked.
removed.
He's on 4.
I did
Oh
see
no, he
Uh,
did get. Oh, he got a yellow as well.
I did see an article saying that the assist was going to be removed, so we'll have to wait and see on that.
okay. Oh, we'll see. We'll see.
Everyone who's good has got Semenya, aren't they, Jake? So there's no net change.
I,
Yeah.
I think I
Speak
thought
for
you were.
yourself.
Okay. So yeah, Simmons. I can barely watch Spurs anyway, but knowing that he's in their team, it's painful watching the Lacroix, and that's a punt I really got wrong. So he needs to go. For me, it's a question of timing. Didn't look good. Didn't like threatening. Spurs looked pretty weak. And Villa looked pretty good actually. Harlow we spoke about. Gyökeres again. I don't know why I have empathy for this player, but I'm willing him to do well, not just because he's in my team. Um, I need to downgrade him to get Saka. I'm scared to do that at the moment because I think he'll have a good week in the next two or three. So I'm probably going to keep him. And then the absolute saving grace, which I think moved me from 2.4 mil to 1.8, was the Mateta onslaught. Uh,
Unreal.
Steady hat trick, absolutely, phenomenal from him, and should have won them the game. As people
Yeah.
mentioned, I don't know if you've seen the miss for the fourth chance for
Yeah. Should have
another.
been 4. Very
I mean,
unlucky.
that would have been unreal. And he's starting in my team against Arsenal because I think that's the sort
Mm.
of game where they play on the counter, he marauders forward and he'll get chances. So he's not getting benched for
Yeah.
that game. And yeah, good week. Could have been better, but a good week. And lots to ponder. And yeah, overall pretty chuffed. Any questions, boys?
Um, no, not really.
Um.
Nothing we
I,
haven't touched on.
I guess Xavi, someone else, I guess similar sort of point. Would you look to Rodgers? Do you reckon Villa are looking better?
They're getting more in the lens of
Mm.
teams that I might look at, and it's
Yeah.
only really Rodgers, isn't it? You're not going to go to Marlon. I don't want Watkins
No,
back.
not Marlon. Watkins was
So well, I
benched as
want him
well.
back. So it probably
Was.
is only Rodgers. It just feels like um, a bit too premature in Villa's
Yeah.
uptick. So I'll see where they go in the next two or three games. But again, he's top class. Last season he was outrageous. So if he
They've
starts to
won
fuck
four.
into
They've
that
won four or
form,
five on the spin now.
Yeah.
anyway,
They've
five
really
on the
picked up.
spin. Yeah, five on the spin.
Yeah.
But they still worry me though
It's
because they
early days.
start with. So I want a bit more legs out of them before I look at Rodgers. But he looks like their best player. So,
Yeah.
but he's expensive, right? What's his price?
Is he 7 or
Seven.
is he
Yeah,
7 or seven and a
yeah.
half?
It might be that I need to free up some budget, and I think Xavi's dropped a bit in price, and he's in that 7 million mark. So,
Mm.
but Rodgers is on the table. But it depends what the move is, and it probably needs to be a striker downgrade to free up money for Saka.
The price
Um,
changes are just violent, like this year, even worse than
Mm.
yeah,
the last couple. Like,
yeah, and they're having an impact. I think I'm point one or 2 mil off getting Saka with the plays I might want to make. So, and I've only got one free transfer, so I can't do too much this week anyway. But more about the planning for the next two, 3 game weeks needs to look closely at budget, and it might be that more price drops for some of my squad render me out of some moves I want to make. But a good week, I can't knock the week, so Yeah, we'll take that price rise, and then we'll have a look at next week shortly.
Cool.
It was Gemma's.
Last but not least.
Cool. Yeah, on to mine at 85, so pretty good week for me. I think I went from about 1.5 mil overall to about 680k. So it's been a pretty good week. Obviously, the star of the show is the Mukiele, how we
Yeah,
pronounce
exactly. You
that?
don't even know how to say his name.
So, so that was very fortunate. For me, the main driver was that for that was I had Virgil there. I wanted to get Saka in, and the only way I could really get the funds from that was to downgrade Virgil, move Foden to Saka. And it just so happened he's the Sunderland fellow that scored clean sheet and bonus. There wasn't really much sort of FPL thought behind it, other than Sunderland at home are good. Wolves has been pretty shit. I was back in the Sunderland defence.
Yeah. I mean, the fact he's matched Mateta is rude.
Yeah,
That-
that's frustrating for
Is
you.
he
But
4 mil or
your
four and a
back line,
half?
honestly, is irrationally annoying
Four.
me with 27 points. Outrageous
Yeah,
stuff. But fair play.
yeah,
Play made the
4
call.
mil.
So I look forward to
Um,
everyone piling into him and then
yeah,
getting,
yeah, it'd
getting
be
a run
pointless.
of 15 blanks.
Yeah, exactly. He's probably going to sit on my bench for the next few weeks. But yeah, a good option to have, I suppose. Munoz, really good again. Obviously conceding 3 goals, but that's not why you own him. Got 2 assists for the Mateta goals. He's just sort of phenomenal in that sort of right wing position, more or less whipping the balls into Mateta.
Yeah, I think
And
Gooey sneaked in with one as well, didn't he? An assist.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
tell you something. Munoz firing in the attack for Palace
mm,
changes the way I think Mateta plays and moves.
yeah,
The better he does, the more likely Mateta is to get some joy. But yeah,
yeah.
I miss him, so I'm not. I can't get him
It's
back.
good.
Work to do, but I do miss him.
It's, it's good to own. I also, oh,
Gooey
go on.
still has more points than Munoz, for what it's worth.
Less fun.
Overall,
Less fun.
really?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, I think Mino's got a goal the other week and 2 assists, so he can't be too far off.
No, but it's more expensive. Just highlights the DEFCON
Okay.
versus
Yeah.
the
Did he get
attack.
DEFCON as well?
Oh, he might have done this week, but
He might have got that. He did get DEFCON as well.
Gooey's got loads, so
Beast. Yeah.
that's not my
I
point.
also think it makes, I don't know, Saar less attractive. I feel like Munoz looked a lot more involved. I know Saar's great. But I wouldn't probably double up with both of
Yeah, I mean
them.
that's your thread. Your potent thread is it? Munoz, Sarr, and Mateta. Like,
Yeah.
Saar had one of the best
that's the
Yeah.
attacking
XGIs.
thread.
Saar had one of the best XGIs in the league last year, so
Yeah.
I'm not buying that.
They do. Jeez.
No,
17,
no,
wasn't it?
No. Uh, yeah. Yeah. Onto the midfield. Obviously, Saka brought in. Didn't get any returns, but somehow ended up with DEFCON bonus clean sheets. So 7 points overall for him. Also looks really, really good. So just happy to keep him really, especially with the Arsenal fixtures coming up.
Maybe I don't get him because the toss up between him and Gyökeres, the penalties will be quite fun between us. And each one that Saka takes, I'll be raging.
Yeah.
That'll
Well,
be
there
that.
was the penalty shot, wasn't there, on the weekend? So
Yeah,
if you own Saka, it's a penalty. If you own Gyökeres and you
Oh,
think he takes it, it's a
I
penalty
was, I
as
was thinking
well.
of I was thinking of the United handball. That was never a penalty in a million years.
Borderline. You've seen him give him.
But yeah, I,
No
I
way.
think the fact he gave it and they overturned it was just
Absolutely
unnecessary. But
dreadful.
Nice to
yeah,
see Kudus blank in. Happy days.
kudos blank. Didn't he have one ruled offside?
He did right at the
Is-
start, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So unlucky there, but it's what, 6.5 mil. Probably the only real asset for Spurs. If you want that attacking threat. Um, and Vermo obviously mentioned looks really good. Uh, Anderson, Defcon, and then Haaland obviously scoring. I think when I see City score, I don't really need to check anymore. It's just always Haaland. There's just no point getting anyone else in
I saw a
for
graphic
City.
that the City team outside of Haaland have only got one goal amongst a handful of players each. It's
Yeah,
yeah, it's a bit nuts, but
it's insane. He's absolutely carrying that team. So yeah, I didn't really enjoy owning Foden for those few weeks, and I don't think I'd really go back to City,
No.
other than Haaland. And then just the issues you touched on as well with Pedro and Isaac, both looking pretty poor. It's almost like the same player, causing issues really. And yeah, I don't know who to look at going forward. I want to get Mateta in. I'm worried I'm going to get outpriced if I don't go soon,
You just
but
go
I
on.
don't know if I want to.
Or do you want to do Pedro?
I wanted to do Pedro to Mateta, and I
Oh, if you've
think
got the money, like,
I can just about do it now, and I'd have point one left in the bank. So
oh,
do I bring him in?
I mean, I've done it.
Yeah, it's do I bring in Mateta for Arsenal or keep Pedro?
I I don't think I
E-
don't think like, people saying, "Oh, don't bring him for Arsenal either." Defense is great, but they're going to be playing on the counter, and that's where all their
Yeah,
strengths are.
It's
That
not
that
just
pace, like, and he's rapid. Like, I wouldn't if you want him in. I wouldn't be thinking about the Arsenal game to not bring him in.
yeah.
it's not just a money thing. It's you have to do it in two moves.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so if I do it now, I can do a straight swap Pedro to Mateta.
Yeah, I mean that's just
Um, if
infinitely
I
better than waiting and doing it in two moves.
if if I wait and hold
Yeah,
Pedro for the Sunderland game, he's probably going to drop in price by then, and I'll be outpriced.
yeah. I think Palace on the counter against Arsenal versus Sunderland's defensive block.
Mhm.
Yes, on paper they're two very different teams in terms of quality,
Yeah,
but I wouldn't be backing against Mateta in this form on the counter
no,
against an Arsenal team, even though their defense is so solid.
yeah,
But you've had a great week.
yeah, yeah.
Happy day.
Cool.
See, I mean, obviously, I went a different direction with Voltamada Gemmers. I think I
Mhm.
slightly preferred the fixtures overall. I imagine the template's going to move something kind of towards that, like Haaland, Mateta, and
Baltimore.
Voltamada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would feel weird getting rid of Isaac and just having no Liverpool attack. Um,
Yeah,
but
they're just not showing. They're not looking very likely, are they? So when do you
yeah,
when do you jump off? So we've got 10 minutes
cool.
left, chaps. Then should we have a very
Sweet.
very quick look at my team? I've touched on
Yeah.
it for next week.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, Voltamada for fixtures mainly over Mateta. For me, so a bit of divergence there, just in view. I think
Forward.
I'm seeing lots of every week. I seem to hear that Newcastle have played well, and then they've lost or they've drawn. Like they they seem to be a funny team
Yeah.
at the moment. But I, yeah, hopefully they've got enough quality in the wide men to get some
Mm.
service to Voltamada on the regular. His run of fixtures is really good, and that Fulham one to start with, as we touched on earlier and have done in the last few weeks, is
Yeah.
probably targetable, especially with Anderson uh, being out. I think that'll be a big miss for them. Um, I think
Is he
that,
getting 90, Baltimore?
yeah, the last couple of games he has. He's obviously taken a penalty, but there's some debate around that, which is fine. Um,
Yeah.
I might end up playing GW and Anderson. I just can't look at a Spurs defender in my team again. Um, I think Van der Ven got a yellow card early on, which
Oh
set the
yeah.
scene really.
So we're filing Spurs with the Dewsbury Halls and Steve's hate bucket.
Absolutely
Fair
miserable.
enough,
Yeah.
but
Not
you,
even looked at my team yet.
you can't be going.
See,
You
I
look pretty
might,
well for next week. You
It
look pretty.
looks good. Yeah.
yeah, I might end up playing one of Anderson or Gui. Um,
Who for?
we'll see,
For Van der Ven.
but possibly Reinders and Van der Ven out. Um, at least I get the
Yeah.
minutes with both of those guys. I can't have a team where 4 players, 5 players are getting 60 minutes. It's just you're
No.
just
Yeah.
trying to fight with one hand behind your back, and um, so yeah, it looks okay. If I free hit, maybe I'll do a quick video
Yes.
discussing
Do a
it. But
draft anyway, because
yeah,
I've been
exactly.
trying to see where
Where
you
do
go
you
with
go?
it.
Yeah, where do you go?
Yeah.
So yeah, there we
Hmm.
are. I'll hand over.
Double Burnley.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've got in my notes. I think that's going to be popular. Just where Estev and Dubravka was so cheap at the start of the season, this Burnley double
Mm.
is going to be popular.
Yeah, it
Yeah. So I've
paid
got
off last time.
Currently got Reinders on the bench for similar reasons Steve has
Mhm.
outlined. And again, I'm still pondering what to do this week, whether to make transfers, whether to roll. But yeah, he starts my bench. So yeah, double Burnley at the back. That's a nailed on clean sheet. Esteban against Wolves. They can't score for
Yeah.
the money, so that isn't moving. Timber at home to Palace. Annoyingly, I've also got Mateta that I'm trying to
Mhm.
get to burn his cleanie, but fine with that. Either Arsenal will win to nil
I feel
or
like you're the right way around there. At least Timber's got some attacking potential.
yeah, and he looks
Obviously,
good. He's getting
Yeah.
Gabriel's
really
good
really
too.
far forward. I want to see his heat map actually. He's getting right up in attack, into a nice little pocket. So no issues there. Cersei was disappointing this week, but I think at home against Forest, you'd expect him to,
Yeah, that's
to
good fixture too. Obviously,
get back to his better self. Same with Semenyo, should cause some problems. You'll see Xavi in there or whatever. I don't massively like the fixture anyway. Never mind the
Mhm.
fact it's Xavi in that fixture. But Everton at home, do like to attack. He could find some space, and at the moment, I think I've probably got to keep him. I like Grealish at home against Spurs. Leaky, leave lots of gaps, sort of stuff that our boy Jack can exploit. So he's in. He's going nowhere. Uh, as again, I don't dislike him on paper in this fixture. If he gets hooked, maybe I'll keep him for this week. If he gets hooked early, I'd play more aggressive with two free transfers. Might be the move. And my front line, no issues with that at all. So Gyökeres at home. This will be his week. You heard it here first. This will be his week to score brace.
Inevitable.
Ireland goes without saying. We all know why he's in teams. And Mateta, I wouldn't rule out him scoring on the counter. I think they'll get beat. I don't think I don't think Arsenal will struggle to win that game. But for me, that feels like a 4-1 or a 3-1,
mm.
and not the most comfortable game for them with some
they,
nice
they-
counter.
they've had some they've had some low scoring games. I can see Arsenal shutting things down. I can see it being a pretty cagey
Yeah.
affair. What I
It's
will
the
say
logical
is
assumption to make,
what I
but
will say is all of my expectations for most games this year have just been in the bin. Um,
very, very, very hard to predict. There's something about I think the way Palace will approach that game. Well, they're rough Arsenal up, and
Yeah.
I just think they'll get opportunities, and it might be 25% of their usual opportunities against teams they're expected to beat, but I don't think it will be the walkover that many of the creators are talking about. And
cool.
the bench is what it is. I'm not going to move on to the keeper this week. I do need to sort out Alisson out 'cause he's holding about, was he 5.8 mil? He's holding
Yeah,
way too
just
much of my
just
budget.
just 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 play
Mm.
Dubravka until you
Um,
until
but
you
this
get the
week the
wild
Bradford's
card or
in.
something.
And
I think
I feel
we've
pretty,
got 3 minutes. Sorry to interrupt, Bob, but we've got 3 minutes. So
I
Gemma,
will good. So I'm in a good place. So I might roll. Is the long and the short of a lot of this. Gemmas.
Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah, it does look
Cool.
good. You got a
Yeah.
couple of exciting picks in there.
Yeah, I think next week again it looks decent. Obviously Raya at home, Palace, Senesi, Van der Ven I'll probably play. I think I could potentially play Goodmanson at home to West Ham. I might think about that. They look pretty poor. Um, Munoz obviously away to Arsenal is not amazing, but like Rob mentioned, I think Palace will take the game to them. Saka and Mbeumo fine, Kudos fine. Obviously, got to start Dewsbury Hall at home to Spurs.
Legend.
No, no issues there. Haaland, I look at that Pedro fixture and I want to keep him at home to Sunderland,
Yeah, as we were
but he
saying
could
though,
get moved on.
he's had good fixtures. Like
Yeah,
it's like Xavi, he's had good fixtures. I understand it.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm a Pedro, or I was a Pedro holder. So
yeah.
yeah, fair
Yeah.
enough.
Funny
You've
think
got that
about it.
transfer decision to make, Gemma. So um,
Yeah,
I'd personally be leaning towards doing that. But
I
yeah.
think I lean towards keep and just make it his last rodeo.
If
Who after that? Isn't it
they just had Forest, and they're even worse.
I'd sell him after that. The only if it
away?
wasn't Mateta away to Arsenal, any other day I would have gone there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can just see Arsenal just shutting them out. But
It's
yeah,
similar
it's,
Gyökeres,
it's
isn't it?
hard.
Like
It's
he's
hard
had
to
the
predict.
fixtures. And he's not delivered it. These decisions are hard because you work on the worry that they'll then go and score, but then they don't
That's,
again. So sometimes you've got to be a bit ruthless. But I'd probably hold him for this week personally. In terms of,
yeah.
and how dare you rest Mukiele after 17? How
Yeah,
dare you, Gemma?
thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming.
One night
Okay.
stand, Gemmas.
What?
Here's the door. Don't slam it on your way out. Brutal. No,
Cool.
you
Well,
look
then,
pretty good.
We're gonna have to wrap it there, chaps.
it's got cool. Yeah, good stuff.
So yeah, good weeks for you boys. I think everyone's got a few question marks, haven't they? A few decisions to make.
Yeah, maybe we'll share some thinking in the TikToks later in the week. But deadline's Friday. Don't forget.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll definitely
Nice.
if I do my rage free hit, then I'll get a video about that. Maybe yeah, keep an eye on TikTok for league updates and quick league reviews. We haven't had time to get round to it today, given the multitude of issues that we've got. But otherwise, chaps, thanks for coming. I'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Like and follow and all that good stuff. I'll see you next time. Good luck.
Cheers,
Cheers
boys.
all. And enjoy the game later.